Good morning, America. As you step outside today, you might notice something different in the air, a sense of change, a hint of warmth, and the promise of a new season just around the corner. After weeks of relentless cold, we're finally seeing a major shift. Winter's grip is loosening across the country. The snow that once blanketed our neighborhoods is beginning to recede, and the icy silence of winter mornings is giving way to the sounds of melting and renewal. For many, this is the first real sign that the long, harsh winter is finally coming to an end. The Arctic air mass that has dominated our weather for so long is now retreating north, making way for a surge of warmer Pacific air. This shift in the jet stream is more than just a blip on the radar. It's a signal that a steady, nationwide thaw is on the way. Across the country, temperatures are set to rise, and the bitter cold that defined our days is finally giving way to milder, more comfortable conditions. From the bustling streets of Chicago to the sun-drenched avenues of Florida, expect a gradual but unmistakable transition. Snow will melt away, revealing the green beneath, and each day will seem a little brighter, and a little longer. The first buds of spring are already peeking through in some regions, and soon, parks and gardens will be alive with color and activity. The polar vortex, which brought those bone-chilling temperatures, is now locked over Canada. This means that, for the central and eastern US, we can finally breathe a sigh of relief. No more major Arctic blasts are expected for the rest of the season. While Canada continues to bear the brunt of winter's fury, the US is poised for a much-needed break. Of course, the snowpack and frozen ground will keep things chilly for a bit longer, especially in the northern states, but every day brings more sunshine, more melting, and more signs that winter is losing its hold. Listen for the drip of melting icicles and the cheerful calls of returning birds, nature's own announcement that change is here. It's time to start thinking about lighter layers and new weather challenges. As the snow melts, we'll see more foggy mornings, slippery sidewalks, and the first hints of spring allergies. But we'll also enjoy the excitement of spotting the season's first flowers and feeling the sun on our faces after months of gray skies. In this report, we'll break down what to expect in your region, from the hazards of melting snow and rising rivers to the natural wonders that come with a changing season. Whether you're in the Northeast, the Midwest, or the South, we'll help you prepare for what's ahead and highlight the beauty that comes with this dramatic shift. The nation is on the move, weather-wise. Communities are emerging from hibernation, and the landscape is transforming before our eyes. It's a time of renewal, of new beginnings, and of reconnecting with the outdoors. So, let's dive into this dramatic weather shakeup and see what the coming weeks have in store. Stay with us as we track these exciting changes coming your way. From weather tips to regional forecasts and stories of resilience, we'll keep you informed and inspired as America welcomes the arrival of spring. Big news for the Northeast and Midwest. After what has felt like an endless stretch of bone-chilling temperatures and relentless winter storms, a significant change is finally arriving. Residents who have been bundled up for weeks, braving icy winds and snow-packed sidewalks, can finally look forward to a much-needed break from the deep freeze. After weeks of bitter cold, when every trip outside meant layering up and facing biting winds, the region is finally seeing a shift. The days of shoveling driveways and scraping thick ice off windshields are starting to fade into memory. A real thaw is finally here. You can almost feel the collective sigh of relief as the snow begins to melt, water trickling down gutters, and revealing patches of grass that haven't been seen in weeks. Cities like Chicago are jumping from single digits to the upper 40s, and highs in the 30s and 40s will soon be the norm from Boston to Detroit. For many, it's the first time in a long while that stepping outside doesn't mean bracing for a shock of cold. The sun feels warmer, snowbanks are shrinking, and the psychological boost is huge. Less time scraping ice, more time outdoors. Parks are starting to fill with people eager to soak up the sun, and the simple act of walking outside feels like a treat again. This is more than a weather shift, it's a mood lifter for millions. After weeks of gray skies and frigid air, the brighter days and milder temperatures are lifting spirits and bringing communities back to life. Neighborhoods are coming alive again, children are playing in the slush, joggers are returning to their favorite routes, and even local cafes are starting to set up outdoor seating, hopeful for the season ahead. But the transition isn't without hazards. As warm, moist Pacific air meets lingering cold, expect a messy mix of sleet and freezing rain, especially at first. The clash of temperatures can create unpredictable conditions, so caution is still needed. Travel could be tricky, so stay alert for wintry mixes and changing road conditions. Roads may look clear but can quickly become slick with a sudden burst of freezing rain or slush. City crews are working hard to keep streets and sidewalks safe, but it's a good idea to give yourself extra time and watch your step. Helping neighbors and looking out for one another is more important than ever during this transition. The thaw is a process, not an instant fix, so keep an eye on the forecast and take it one day at a time. Weather apps and local news will be your best friends as conditions change rapidly. Enjoy the relief, but be prepared for some bumps along the way. Rain and melting snow can mean puddles and slush, so waterproof boots and umbrellas are still a must, for now. The great thaw is underway. Let's make the most of it, take time to enjoy the fresh air, reconnect with neighbors, and appreciate the first signs of spring peeking through. Stay weather aware as the Northeast and Midwest slowly defrost. With each passing day, the grip of winter loosens a little more, and the promise of warmer, brighter days grows stronger. In the south and southeast, it's a full-on spring preview. Temperatures are soaring, and winter's chill is history. Atlanta just hit 70 for the first time since January, and the warmth is spreading from Texas to the Carolinas. Expect highs in the 50s, 60s, and even 70s. Perfect for getting outside, gardening, or firing up the grill. This isn't a fluke. Forecasts point to a warmer-than-average spring for the region. But spring's volatility is real. Warm, moist, Gulf air can spark thunderstorms as it clashes with lingering cool air. Severe weather isn't imminent, but stay alert as the season shifts. Enjoy the sunshine, but keep an eye on the sky for sudden changes. The South is leading the charge into spring. Out west, it's a story of extremes. California is drenched by a powerful atmospheric river, unleashing relentless rain and wind across the state. Streets are transformed into rivers, and neighborhoods brace for the next downpour. The sheer volume of water is staggering, with some areas receiving a month's worth of rain in just a few days. Residents scramble to protect their homes, stacking sandbags and monitoring rising creeks, while emergency crews work around the clock to keep people safe. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, Florida faces a deepening drought. The ground is cracked and dry, and reservoirs are shrinking fast. Lawns turn brown, and communities are urged to conserve every drop of water. Torrential rain and heavy Sierra snow are boosting California's water supply, filling reservoirs and piling up snowpack in the mountains. But this bounty comes with a price. Flooded rivers threaten homes, and the risk of mudslides looms, especially in areas scarred by recent wildfires. The landscape is both replenished and at risk, as nature's power is on full display. Ski resorts are celebrating the deep powder, drawing visitors eager to carve fresh tracks. The mountains are alive with activity, a winter wonderland for outdoor enthusiasts. Yet, beneath the excitement, there's a watchful eye on avalanche danger and the potential for rapid snowmelt. Down in the lowlands, flooding disrupts daily life. Roads become impassable, traffic grinds to a halt, and families face the challenge of navigating a waterlogged world. Schools close, businesses pause, and the community bands together to weather the storm. Meanwhile, nearly all of Florida is in drought, with February bringing almost no rain. The landscape is parched, and the air is thick with dust. Farmers worry as crops wilt in the relentless sun, and the threat of wildfires grows with every dry day. Water supplies and agriculture are under stress. Farmers inspect their fields, searching for signs of hope, but the reservoirs continue to drop. Communities implement water restrictions, and everyone is reminded of just how precious water can be. The contrast is stark. One region has too much water, another, not nearly enough. It's a dramatic illustration of how weather can shape lives in very different ways, sometimes just a few thousand miles apart. These patterns reflect larger atmospheric shifts, as powerful forces in the atmosphere steer storms and block rain from reaching parched areas. The jet stream twists and turns, creating winners and losers in the rainfall lottery. This year, the transition from La Niña to neutral conditions is playing a major role. Weather experts explain how changes in the Pacific Ocean ripple across the continent, influencing who gets soaked and who stays dry. The west storm track is highly targeted, funneling moisture into specific regions while leaving others untouched. Some communities are drenched, while others wait for relief that never comes. It's a patchwork of wet and dry, with some areas enjoying replenished reservoirs and others watching the sky in hope. The randomness of nature is both fascinating and frustrating. It's a powerful reminder, when it comes to weather, location is everything. Your experience can be completely different from someone just a state away. Stay tuned for more on how these extremes could impact you. We'll break down what to expect in the weeks ahead, and how to prepare for whatever Mother Nature has in store. The nation's weather is as varied as ever, reminding us that no matter where you live, the next big change could be just around the corner. As the Midwest and Northeast thaw, a new threat emerges. River flooding from ice jams. Thick river ice built up over weeks of deep freeze is now breaking apart as temperatures rise. When melting ice clogs narrow channels, it can create sudden, dangerous flooding upstream, and a surge of water and ice if the jam breaks. Major rivers like the Mississippi and Ohio are at risk, so residents in low-lying areas need to stay alert. A slow, steady melt is ideal, but rapid warming and rain can trigger disaster. Know your evacuation routes and pay close attention to local alerts. Flood warnings can come with little notice. This is a slow-motion event that can turn fast. Be prepared. The warmth is welcome, but respect the power of nature as frozen rivers awaken. Stay vigilant as the thaw continues. This season's weather shift brings more than just warmth. It's setting the stage for some spectacular natural events. On February 17th, parts of the world will witness a ring of fire solar eclipse, a stunning celestial show, even if it's not total for most of the US. Down on Earth, rare conditions in Death Valley could trigger a superbloom, carpeting the desert in wildflowers if the rains continue just right. These events are direct results of the weather patterns we're tracking. Nature's resilience on full display. From the skies to the desert floor, the changing season is putting on a show. Weather isn't just about temperature, it's the engine behind some of the world's most beautiful phenomena. Don't miss these wonders as winter gives way to spring. Don't pack away your winter gear just yet. Late-season storms are still possible, especially in the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and interior Northeast. Even as the pattern trends warmer, enough cold air lingers in Canada to fuel 1 or 2 more significant snow events. A brief pattern flip could bring a quick shot of cold and a late snowstorm, especially along the East Coast. These late snows are heavy and wet, great for snowballs, tough for shoveling, and risky for power lines. If a storm is in your forecast, be ready for a different kind of challenge. The transition to spring is rarely smooth. It's often 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Keep your shovels and emergency kits handy for a few more weeks. Enjoy the warmer days. But don't get caught off guard. Winter is stubborn and may have a few surprises left. Stay prepared as we move towards spring. The shift from winter to spring brings tricky travel hazards, especially the daily melt and refreeze cycle. Daytime warmth melts snow and ice, but overnight cold turns it into nearly invisible black ice, dangerous for drivers and pedestrians alike. Morning and evening commutes can be treacherous, so slow down and give yourself extra stopping distance. Bridges, overpasses, and shaded spots freeze first. Use extra caution. Fog is another hazard. When mild air flows over snow, dense fog can form quickly, slashing visibility. If you hit fog, use low beams, slow down, and increase following distance, or pull over if needed. The weather may feel better, but roads can be more unpredictable than ever. Don't let your guard down just because the sun is out. Check road conditions before you leave and give yourself extra time. Stay alert to arrive safely as the seasons change. As we transition from winter to spring, safety comes first. Information is your best tool. Check your local forecast daily, and use weather apps for real-time alerts. For those at risk of flooding, have an emergency kit ready and know your evacuation routes. Never drive or walk through floodwaters. It only takes a few inches to sweep you away. On the roads, slow down, defrost your car fully, and keep your winter kit handy. Gentle driving and extra time are your best defenses against ice and fog. Enjoy the change, but respect the process. Spring's arrival comes with growing pains. Listen to your body during outdoor chores and stay clear of swollen rivers. Keep that winter coat nearby a little longer. Being prepared means staying safe. Together we can welcome spring safely and enjoy all the season has to offer.